In this video, we're going to look at the 3 projects that you can complete to enter in the fair: the coaster, the coin purse, and the keychain. So on my coaster, once I kind of know the pattern that I want to work on, all I have to do is make those impressions on the coaster. So the things that you need to think about is consistently spacing them and keeping them not too close to the edge. You don't want to go over the edge, so just kind of pick a spot kind of close to the edge and trying to keep that same distance all the way around. So we talked about different leather and thicknesses, and so you can see that your coaster is a thicker leather than your coin purse is. So I know when I'm making my impressions on the coaster that I will be allowed to hit my tool harder to make a good impression. Oops, there I slipped off the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way around with my pear shader. I thought then maybe I might come back with my cedar at the end, and I might even follow it with my camouflage tool. And that's kind of what I'm thinking for my pattern. So go ahead and take some time and get your pattern put on your coaster. So for me, I could either choose to put something in the middle or leave it plain. I'm just going to experiment on this one and use my backgrounding tool to kind of create some texture in the middle. Okay, so that's it for our coaster. And so you can look at yours and decide like how well you like it, what you can improve on. Maybe the pattern didn't come out quite like you liked, or maybe your impressions weren't quite like you liked. So that's why you have 3 more or 2 more coasters, so that you can work on creating different ones. 2 of them you just can go ahead and keep for yourself, but one of them, pick out your best one, and that's the one that I want you to save for the fair. Okay, so setting it aside, next I'm going to move on to my coin purse. Okay, and this is very important about the coin purse. When you go to stamp, of course here, you'll make your impressions and stamp around, or you might just choose to do some kind of design in the middle of it, and the same on the coin purse. Now, the thing that you have to remember, this top half is a flap that folds down. So when you stamp your coin purse, you have to think of it as being in 2 sections. Okay? So you have to stamp and tool on this area, and then you have to turn it upside down and stamp and tool on this area of the flap. Okay? If you have it this way and you go ahead and do the whole thing, then when you bend it for the flap, you'll end up upside down if you have anything in particular that that you're stamping on it, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, here's an example of one that somebody's done in years past. They held it the same direction, they stamped it the whole way, they put their T on it, and then when you turn the flap down to snap onto the body of the purse, look what happens to the T. It becomes upside down. Okay? Because when this folds, it makes whatever you've got there upside down. So, if you have anything in particular that needs to be facing right side up, you're going to have to remember this is two sections. This section, then you have to turn it upside down and do the flap. So that way when you fold it, you don't end up upside down, okay? I hope that makes sense. So, keeping that in mind, look at your coin purse and decide what it is that you want to do. And what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that I'm trying to stay consistent with my spacing. My spacing from here to here, the holes, and consistent from my spacing of each stem. I don't want them to be really close and then really far apart. You can see whenever I stamp, it creates this burnish. Burnish is the brown, the tan look that you see on each of these impressions. So if your leather is properly cased, you'll be able to see that burnish. And now I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to do another flower right here on the front, and my camouflage tool again around the side. Okay, so once you finish your coin purse, you can move on to your keychain. After these items are done, what you will do is you will let them set to dry, because they have to be completely dry, no moisture in them, whenever we go back to do our clear finish. So generally, we just let them dry for the rest of the day, and we come back the next day to put our finish on. It's very important that they're absolutely dry before we do our finish. All right, see you next video.